not say they cared about their wives, and let me assure you 100%, it's not that they are replaceable, okay? I'm sure that they were attached to their wives. But the idea of the Tanakh is to give us in this gap between David and his people something very profound. Their concern were about other people, and this was what they told him. You don't understand us. Now we got the point. You don't understand it because you don't have children like we have. And here, the end of the pasuk is the most incredible one. What is the reaction of David? Vayitchazek David be'elokav. You have to understand, for a leader, this is the end of the road. He lost the trust, the bitachon, the confidence that his people, his soldiers, have it in him, because he basically caused, with kind of stupidity, for them to lose everything they had. You cannot hit a lower point. And many leaders in this situation, I believe, will commit suicide, they will run away, they will do something that, you cannot stand. 600 people are screaming and crying and say, where are our families? And they are tired and hungry, and they just going to collapse, as I said. After 180 kilometers, the only thing you want to have is a bed and to sleep on it. But here, David shows us who was David. Immediately, he goes into action. ויאמר דוד אל אביתר הכהן, בן אחימלך. He calls Aviatar, who had the ephod. If you remember from the last time, Aviatar managed to escape נוב עיר הכהנים. הגישה נא לי את האפוד. ויגש אביתר את האפוד אל דוד. So he bring him right away the ephod with the Urim ותומים, because David has to communicate now with Hashem himself. וישאל דוד בהשם לאמור, ארדוף אחרי הגדוד הזה, אשיגנו, should I run after them? I'm going to reach them. ויאמר לו, רדוף. זה אורים ותומים, I don't know exactly how it works, but Hashem communicated with him and said, chase after them, כי השג תשיג והצל תציל. Because you are going to reach them, to meet them, and you are going to save. And see, the words are twice. השג תשיג, הצל תציל. Now, it's interesting. What was the question of David?
Will I succeed?
Will I succeed? Like, we have to, like wording the Sheila, the question like this. If I run after him, if I chase after him, am I going to reach him? Because you have to remember, Amalek is not here. Maybe they went here. Maybe they went there. Maybe they went this direction. Maybe they went the other direction. No one promised him that he is going to reach them. As I say, he might go to the west, they will go to the east, and he will not find them. And when they find them, their wives and children are already sold to all the Middle East. Who knows? But you see that Hashem actually answered more than he asked for. He asked if he's going to reach them. What Hashem told him? First of all, he said twice, Haseg tasig. What does that mean? He just asked him, I'm going to... So Hashem had to... Tasig. What is Haseg tasig?
For sure? Yeah, for sure.
For sure. This is one way I think Rashi said, like, for sure. No question about it. But Hashem added something more than that. Hatzel tatzil. Twice. What is Hatzel tatzil? First of all, David did not ask about it. But what is Hatzel tatzil?
You'll be able to save the ones who were taken.
Aha.
Tatzil adelu.
So, you know what? I'll tell you something. When Hashem say the extra words, we will have to find where indeed they were fulfilled. Because the Tanakh is like, lawyers are reading like a document. If there is an extra word, it means something. You have to find out why they added this extra word. What is the meaning behind it? Like, what is the case they try to cover, or what the case they try to avoid? So when Hashem says two words extra that he was never even asked about Hatzel, David did not ask, am I going to be Matzil? And Hashem added that, then we will have to look where these words were fulfilled and what Hashem meant at this time. So we will have to read it twice. You know, sometimes when you read a book or you see a movie, only when you see the end, you can understand something that was said like half an hour before. At the time, it did not make sense, but when you see the end, now I understand why he said that, because, okay, now it makes sense. So we are going to do the same here. וילך דוד, הוא ו600 איש אשר איתו, ויבואו עד נחל הבשור. They come to נחל הבשור, which is today in the middle of באר שבע, והנותרים עמדו. And the rest stood up. And the pasuk continues, וירדוף דוד הוא ו400 איש. So he chased with only 400 people. ויעמדו 200 איש אשר פיגרו מעבור את נחל הבשור. And 200 people were staying on the other shore of the river. The last time I explained that already we know that indeed the camp of David was combined from a nucleus of 400 people, 200 people joined them later. And I suggested, upon what I read in that Mikra and other places, that indeed here they split the camp. The 400 people that started the journey with David, they joined him now in the chase. The 200 other people were not yet like part of the team, they stayed behind. This is one explanation. Based on the numbers, 400 and 200, that we find before, that indeed David started with 400 soldiers, and then he drove, another 200 joined them, which is a nice explanation. But I would say, you know, once I feel the exhaustion of the people of David, I can understand 200 people who simply cannot go anymore. You know what, sometimes I saw it in the army. You come to a point of exhaustion, some of the soldiers said, we can't. And you try to promise them and to give them, they can't. Physically, it's so hard. And now to cross a river, to continue with the chase, you don't know if you are going to be successful or not, you don't know what is going to happen, how you are going to find, you know what, they could come and to find their wives killed or already like sold, who knows?
Why didn't they say in Siklag instead of going to Nachal Absor?
Nachal Absor and Siklag, Nachal Absor is actually cutting the Negev to two, basically.
So
it's
from
Be'er Sheva to Sde Boker. So, well, from Siklag, they go to a direction. I don't know why they decided to go towards Nachal Absor and not to the other side. Apparently, David saw that this will be a better direction, a better assumption. Maybe they had some intelligence. I don't know.
Maybe they have trackers like the Bedouin now. Look for ways, look for signs.
I'm sure that they knew it, especially like, you know, the Bedouins are unbelievable, I have to tell you. You know that in the army, it's very, very interesting. I saw it many times. Every unit, which is a combat unit, and is like keeping the border, let's say, with Egypt or Jordan, they have one, they call it in Israel, gashash. It's like someone who is looking around and knows to track the prints of people who come from the other side of the border. Now, you can see, and you don't see anything. These people tell you, oh, here there was like 3 people I can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They went this direction, they were that size, like this heavy, they know it. And I'm sure that in the old time, like people like David, the Ro'im, they knew very, very well. They lived the nature, and maybe they indeed saw that the camp of the Amalekites turned to one direction. But again, where to go? If you go, by the way, that's part of the problem of the Nachal. When you go in a river, you don't leave tracks because you don't see it, and if you saw enough westerns, you know that sometimes when you try to escape, you escape in a river. So then people cannot track you. Like they don't see the footprints, and maybe that's why they went to Nachal Absor, Because after the Nachal, you don't know exactly, they went this direction, it's very hard to find out.
So can't that explain also why the 200 stayed behind? Because they're going in one direction.
Ah,
and they
this
stayed
is
behind.
interesting. So you understand, like maybe it was a strategy that if they come from the other side, David will leave 200 people behind. Although I have to say, the pasuk said, "Vayamdu," they stood, which sounds like they could not go anymore. Asher pigru, לפגר בעברית means simply cannot cope, cannot catch up with the other one. Pigur in Hebrew means like inability to catch up. So it looks like more they...
Also mean retarded.
זה נכון, הם קוראים לזה מפגר, איש מפגר, כן, היום כבר לא אומרים את זה כמובן, אבל it used to be the word in Hebrew, but there is the same idea, a person who cannot cope, or mentally or physically. So in the Tanakh, pigru means like they simply could not stand the beat of the chase. In Pasuk Yud Aleph, there is a turning point. וימצאו איש מצרי בשדה. They find an Egyptian guy in the middle of the field. ויקחו אותו אל דוד. They take the person to David to interrogate him or to ask him questions. ויתנו לו לחם ויאכל. They give him bread to eat. וישקוהו מים. I find this pasuk just to be incredible. Unbelievable. People are chasing. They try in a last try to get back their children and their wives. I'm sure that they have nothing in their mind but to get back their families if they can, and they are not sure about it anymore. On their chase, they find a person. They stop everything and give him food and water. If you saw the old pictures from Milchemet Sheshet Hayamim, like when they captured some of the Egyptians, you know, the Egyptians were in a very similar situation. Their officers ran away. They left them in the middle of the desert. They had no water. They had no food. And Jewish soldiers are giving them the meimiyot, the canisters, canteens, to drink water and feed them with snacks that were actually for the chayalim. You can see even today, like pictures, chayalim are going to Machane Plitim. They have to do their job, but they give their food to the children, their candies to the children. It's like the Jewish heart, you know, it's very interesting, but you see it here, like the people are occupied with saving their families, and they find some time to take a stranger, to give him food, to give him water, and I'm sure, by the way, that if there were newspapers at this time, they would say, you know, this guy, they don't care about others, they just think about themselves, so immoral and so on. But the Tanakh is giving us a very different picture, and for a good reason. Now, Ish Mitzri Basadeh. What is Ish Mitzri? What is the expression of Ish Mitzri? Is it good or bad? What do you think? Do you remember where the Torah, the first time talking about Ish Mitzri?
Worship.
Yosef. Yosef.
Yosef Ish Mitzri?
No.
Worship.
I don't think. Moshe is going to his brothers, Vayar Ish Mitzri, Makeh Ish Ivri. And he looks around and he killed the Ish Mitzri. The first time, like the connotation of Ish Mitzri is very, very bad actually. And you might say, these people, you know, Marei Nefesh, exhausted, Ish Mitzri, let's, like, who cares about him? Now it's a good time actually to punish them for everything that they did for us. Let's just go and look for our families. No. They stop, they give him food, they give him water.
Yeah, but on the other hand, maybe he said, oh, here's something, maybe he knows something.
But wait a second, I think that in order that you will not think this way, the Torah said he was Ish Mitzri, apparently appeared with clothes of Ish Mitzri, and therefore they assumed that if it was like a person that looked like a Maleki, they would say, wow, this is unbelievable, he will tell us. But he was Ish Mitzri. I think that the first impression was that even in terms of intelligence, he's not going to provide much. Maybe. But indeed, they took him to David, because maybe David will find something.
The
and
term
the-
ish usually means someone important.
איש מצרי, maybe, יכול להיות, maybe. But I think that, again, the Tanakh want to show us, when they feed him, they did not think about the benefit they can get from him. It was really altruistic act. It was not really to gain something. It was just the Jewish heart. You see a person in the desert, doesn't have water, doesn't have food, let's help him.
I'm not sure I agree, because it says they brought him to David. If it was just being an altruistic, they would have given something and kept going. I think this was strategic. Here's this guy,
It might be. I want to read it differently. You might be right.
you could even think that he was captured and escaped somehow.
Maybe. It might be true.
And also it says first that they brought him to David, and then it says they fed him.
Mm-hmm.
The pasuk says first they saw him, they brought him to David, and then it says, and they gave him bread and water.
Uh-huh.
So maybe there's a little bit of that.
Okay. It might be that David told them to do so. Maybe after they brought him to David, David said, before everything else, before we go ahead, maybe that's the right way to read the pasuk. They brought him to David first of all, and David said, first of all, give him something to eat, something to drink. And now, when you say that, I think about something very interesting here, which I'm sure 100% that it's true, unless it's not. You know, this is really interesting. David came from what nation? From
Moab.
Moab. From Moab. Why the Torah say that no Moavi and Ammoni can be part of Klal Israel? Why?
They didn't give the Bnei Israel food.
What?
They didn't give them food.
על
when they
דבר
cried.
אשר לא קידמו אתכם בלחם ובמים. What David is doing, you see how Ruth Moaviyah changed everything, like what a full cycle. The first thing, that they find a person coming apparently from Mitzrayim, because he comes like Mitzri, what does he give him? Providing with water and bread. There is a fair chance that it might be right. That David is just showing us exactly the opposite. Bnei Israel are coming from Mitzrayim, Moab don't give them food and water. David is coming from Moab, but he made the whole, the great Baal Tshuva of Moab. So Ruth Moaviyah, and he take a person who comes from Mitzrayim, apparently, looks like Ish Mitzri, and feed him and give him water. Maybe, yes.
And also, this Ish Mitzri hasn't had food or water for 3 days and 3 nights. So it also slowed them down, and they were still willing to do it, because I'm sure they didn't give him something and then he jumps up and he's recuperated.
That's a very good comment, right? And we are going to see something quite similar in a second. You're right. It's a good comment. ויתנו לו פלח דבלה, they give him some dry fig, ושני צימוקים, which was like raisins. It was not 2 raisins. צימוקים means that it was like a handful of raisins, because that's was their food. You know, you go to a war, you go to a desert, you don't take a refrigerator with you. First of all, they didn't have, and second of all, this was the food they had, like something that they could last for weeks and sometimes months. So he said, "Vatashov rucho ilav." He simply were like realized. He almost died. He almost died. כי לא אכל לחם ולא שתה מים 3 ימים ו3 לילות. Like 3 days. He was like, if they would not find him now,
He's finished.
he would be finished. And apparently he couldn't walk, because this is Nachal Absor. At the time they had water in the Nachal, and he apparently could not even crawl to the river to drink some water. Now, this is quite incredible, if you think about it, because let's read the next pasuk. ויאמר לו דוד, למי אתה ואי מי זה אתה? Who are you? What are you doing here? ויאמר נער מצרי אנוכי, I'm a young Egyptian, עבד לאיש עמלקי. I'm a slave of a person from Amalek. Not a big wonder, because apparently in one of their fights of Amalek, as I say, they didn't care if it's a Jew, if it's Ammonite, if it's Egyptian. They find people that they can take with them, they took with them. So this person apparently attacked one of the small villages in Sinai or in Mitzrayim and took this guy and made him a slave. One day or another, he might or use him or sell him to another one. By the way, I just want to say the Amalekites, like other traders, many times, they did not trade males. Males, many times caused troubles. Because they could run away, they could cause all kinds of troubles. So the high price commodity were actually children that from very young age they got to be slaved, and women. Many times they killed the males right away. They did not leave anybody because males meant troubles. And this commodity has to be like a fine commodity. You get rid of it quickly. People paid for it, and people did not want to buy so much like old male slave. This was very dangerous. How do I know that? Because if you remember, if you learn about Shaul, when eventually Shmuel killed Agag, he says to him the following sentence: I'm going to kill you with my sword the same way that your sword made women widows. כאשר שיקלה מנשים חרבך. What does that mean? That he said, you made many widows, therefore I'm going to kill you. What does that mean? That's exactly what the operation of Amalek. They killed the males. They did not want to have them because it just caused troubles. They could rebel. They could do all kinds of trouble. So they killed the males, hold the women, and sold them over. And the children, they sold them over. So he tells him the following story. ויאמר לו דוד למי אתה ואמי זה אתה ויאמר נער מצרי אנוכי עבד לאיש עמלקי ויעזבני אדוני כי חליתי היום 3. It's already today is the third day that I'm sick, so my owner threw me here. What a lesson about Amalek. He used him. He became sick.
And left them.
Throw him. It's like, I would say like, a used bottle of Coca-Cola. You drank it, you throw it. Why do you need it? That's Amalek. People are not important. The maximum they are commodity. What about human being? Tselem Elokim. Amalek don't care about it. When the Torah conducted the war against Amalek, and we are going to talk about it in the next year, it's not because they were anti-Semite. Many Goyim were anti-Semites. The Mitzrim were anti-Semite. These people deny the idea that a human being is a human being. And therefore the Torah said, a person like this who treat and his attitude towards other people as a commodity, he should not be on this earth. Because God created the world for people who respect somehow, this way or another, the other person as someone who is more than commodity. It's not like you have cows and you have horses and you have sheep and you have slaves. No. A slave is a human being. And we know how the Torah treats slaves. With utmost respect. The halacha is that if you have a slave and you have one bed, you give it to him, not to yourself. There is a completely different attitude. Remember what happened with Avraham Avinu, who is chasing after very much the same as David. He tried to get back his family that were taken by the 4 kings who fought against the people of Sdom, Bera, and they take the people with them, and Abraham is chasing after them in the middle of the night to get Lot back. Remember the story. And Melech Sdom tell him, take everyone. Thank you for bringing them. They are yours. Because in the ancient world, you captured, you took people in captivity, you sell them. It's a commodity. What the bit say? הרימותי ידי לאל עליון. אם אקח מכל אשר לך משרוך ועד חותנל. What? You think that I went for money to this war? Not in million years. I went because this was the right thing to do. That's why I went to the war. So you think that I'm going to take these people and to trade them? מה פתאום? This is a completely different world. Amalek is exactly the opposite. Exactly the other people who try to profit from wars, from people, from misery of other people. So the Tanakh here in these two psukim just compare David, his people who are helping a stranger in the middle of a chase to bring back their family, and the people of Amalek. This person became sick, not useful anymore. Throw him. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'm saying it again and again. The Goyim cannot see it. You know, there is like an earthquake in Haiti. Who is the first one to arrive? Is the Israeli Air Force. And then, what do they say? The Israeli, they are oppressing, they are occupiers. They don't see the obvious. And this pasuk is just telling us exactly that. Where people don't care about other people. You know, things are happening all over the world. People are killed in Syria by hundreds of thousands. No one is talking about it. Israel had a little problem here. Try to protect itself. They are awful. We have to take the entire UN and to decide against them and to make all kind of decision against the Jewish people. And the Tanakh is telling us in a very clear way that it's from the very, very beginning. Who are our warriors? Who are the other side? Yes.
Well, they were saying in Haiti that they went to harvest organs from the patients for transplant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what. Okay. Nothing is new. You see, that's why we learned Tanakh. Nothing is new, unfortunately. Okay.
Good.
Shkoyach to you. Who spoke? Yeah.